In this league, it seems like the rich just keep on getting richer because there are reports surfacing now that the Los Angeles Dodgers, the 2024 World Series champions, are considering trying to trade for Seiya Suzuki. This could be bad. Let's talk about it after the intro. Welcome in, Chicago Cubs fans. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Once again, it's your boy, Mike Jones, back with another episode of the CCC, the Chicago Cubs Central Network. And listen, guys, let me tell you something. I cannot tell you guys how much it means to me the fact that you guys allow me to come onto, whether you're watching me on your phones, whether you're watching me on a computer screen, whether you're listening to me while you're at work, while you're at home, while you're doing your chores. However, you're viewing this podcast, it is not lost on me that you take time out of your busy day and watch the pod. And it is not lost on me that y'all comment below and let me know your thoughts and let your voice be heard. Listen, it means the world to me that you guys do so. And I promise you, like always, I will keep giving you dope content. When something drops, I'm definitely dropping. We bring in some noise and we're going to have something to say about it because this is the official voice of the Chicago Cub fan right here on the CCC, Chicago Cubs Central, a part of the Chi-Town Sports Central Network. Listen, guys, I appreciate you so much. It is not lost on me. Gratitude. Now, let's get down to business. The Los Angeles Dodgers apparently are interested in Seiya Suzuki, and I know right off the bat, everybody's looking like, come on. Don't the Dodgers have enough? Yes, they do. They literally just won the World Series. They're trying to get Roki Sasaki, and they have a pretty good shot. They're still the odds-on favorite to sign Roki Sasaki to a deal. And then on top of that, they're trying to get another Japanese phenom, our Japanese phenom, and one Seiya Suzuki. I think not. But apparently, according to Ken Rosenthal, this is something that could actually happen. Ken Rosenthal of The Athletic reported a third blockbuster trade could be on the horizon for the Chicago Cubs. The World Series champion Los Angeles Dodgers are exploring a number of intriguing right-handed hitting alternatives. The potential options, according to sources briefed on the team's discussions, include infielder Hai Sung Kim in free agency and Chicago Cubs right fielder slash DH Seiya Suzuki. Chicago White Sox center fielder Luis Robert Jr. and others also have been reported in trade discussions. So there you have it, folks. It just seems like the Seiya Suzuki trade talk will not go away. It won't go away until Jed Hoyer flat out comes out and says, hey, we're not trading him. But then again, can you really believe Jed when he says that? Considering the fact that he was the main one talking about how he was excited to have Cody Bellinger be a part of the team once they got Kyle Tucker and how everything was going to mesh really well between them. And then he turned around and traded Cody Bellinger. Now, albeit that wasn't as much of a surprise, but it looks like the Chicago Cubs are really still exploring the possibility of trading Seiya Suzuki. I know some of you out there will comment below. It's a bad trade. It's a bad idea. It's definitely a bad idea to trade him to the Dodgers. And some of that I agree with you guys on. I'm willing to trade Seiya Suzuki if we're getting back Luis Castillo or something like that, and we're shipping him off to to the Mariners or something like that. I would have rather traded him to the Marlins. I would have rather traded him to. I really in a perfect world, I would love to trade Seiya Suzuki to an AL team where we do not have to see him a bunch. That's why that Houston trade, I was kind of hoping that he might, if he did do something, he might be included in it. We might actually get a second piece back. But nevertheless, I do not want to trade Seiya Suzuki to the Dodgers. Listen, that's just something I can't fathom. I don't want to have to think about. I don't want to have to wake up and realize that we got to play Seiya Suzuki at least at least 7 times during the season, and he's going to be out for revenge. Definitely, like I said, trying to do his damnedest to wreak havoc on the Chicago Cubs season, let alone meet them in the postseason. Um, players just get better when they go to the Dodgers, man. their system, their farm system, their coaching, how they're managed, everything like that. I mean, it just works. It just works. But here's why the Cubs should keep Seiya Suzuki. Seiya Suzuki chose Chicago over the Dodgers. He chose to come and be a Chicago Cub. He could have went to the Dodgers. He could have went there. He absolutely. He chose to come here to Chicago. That means he wanted to be a part of the Cubs. We want to keep that Japanese pipeline open for other players, especially in the middle of trying to get Roki Sasaki, one of probably the next most coveted Japanese star after Yamamoto and Shohei Otani. So literally, we're in the midst of trying to figure out how we can lure Roki Sasaki to the Chicago Cubs. And then you go and make a trade and you trade Seiya Suzuki to the Dodgers. That just adds more fuel to the fire of, hey, it's grass is greener over there. You see, they already rocking World Series rings. You might as well come on over here with us. I have a problem with that. If you want to trade Seiya Suzuki, fine. He also has a no trade clause, so he's gonna have to approve any trade that's made. But if you're gonna trade Seiya Suzuki, do not trade him to somebody you could potentially meet in the playoffs, in the postseason. I have every confidence the Chicago Cubs team will probably be playing in the postseason next season. So, with that being said, you don't want to screw yourself or shoot yourself in the foot by trading Seiya Suzuki to an already powerhouse. I mean, think about this. You got to beat Mookie Betts, you got to beat Freddie Freeman, you got to beat Shohei Otani, you got to beat Yamamoto, you got to beat Max Muncy, you got to beat all these guys, all these hitters, all of them. I mean, they're basically a dream team roster already. If this were a video game, you would have to unlock that roster. And now, like I said, you have to face them. And then you want to add Seiya Suzuki to that. The Dodgers don't need no help getting better. None. Do not. Now, like I said, it comes as no shock that the Dodgers would throw his name out there as a player they're considering making a move to require. But like I said, the Cubs are still trying to build something here. And I just don't see the value in trading Seiya Suzuki to the Dodgers, you know, for any of those players. I mean, like I said, I'm not even sure what package they could put together for you right now. But even if you trade it, let's say you traded Seiya Suzuki away and you trade it for Max Muncy and you said, okay, Max, you're gonna play third base. I mean, he's all right at third base, but he's not making any spectacular things at third base. I mean, he could DH for us and probably would be happy to DH for us, you know. Um, but still, like I said, I think that the Chicago Cubs need to hold on to Seiya Suzuki until the right deal comes. You also, like I said before, when rumors surfaced that that reporters were saying that Seiya Suzuki did not want to DH, he wanted to play right field. Well, he's under contract. So, like I said, once his contract is done and he's able to go be a free agent and go sign somewhere else, then he can choose to go somewhere else where they may play him right field. But as of right now, he has to play for us and do pretty much where he's slated to be at, which is if that's DH, that's DH. Kyle Tucker just adds more out there in right field. You know, sorry, Seiya. Truth is the truth, but Seiya's bat is lethal, and he could offer so much to this team with just his bat, and he has to be comfortable with that. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's the way of the world. We need him to hit right now. His defense has been less than spectacular since he's been a Chicago Cub, and he's gotten exposed multiple times. So, if that's the case, the Cubs have to do what's best. They have to do what's best for this team, what's best for this fan base, and what's best for all of us. And they're going to do what's best for Seiya Suzuki. And if Seiya Suzuki is best put out there at the DH position, and all he has to do is focus on hitting, then that's all he has to do is focus on hitting. Like I said, you've already traded Cody Bellinger. You've already traded some of your firepower with losing Cody. So to me, I'm just like, I would much rather hold on to Seiya Suzuki unless it's a deal you absolutely cannot turn away. unless it's a deal that you have to make. Like they're offering like Max Muncy, they're offering like a couple of prospects, and they're offering a pitcher or two from their bullpen, something like that, some type of deal like that. Like I said, it's something that I would be like, okay, you got to take a you got to take a look at at that deal then. But if you're just trying to trade player for player, I don't know that I could make that deal. I don't know I can feel comfortable with that because I know Seiya Suzuki is going to come into this season motivated, and every single year he has upped his game for the Chicago Cubs and played better and better each season, and especially his bat. He's getting more comfortable. You would love to see his strikeouts go down. You would love to see him switch things up and start swinging on some first pitches and surprise some pitchers and send them over into the bleachers. But still, even still, without any of that, this guy still could give you 20, 25 home runs next season. And that's what the Cubs are going to need from him in order to win, in order to be successful ball club. That's what the Cubs are going to need from him. So I say hold on to Seiya Suzuki. But of course, this ain't just my show. This is y'all's show. Comment below. Let me know. What do you think? Should the Cubs hold on to Seiya Suzuki, or should the Cubs go ahead and look to trade Seiya Suzuki? And would you be willing to trade him to the Dodgers? And if you are willing to trade him to the Dodgers, for what? What do you want back in return? What do you want from the Dodgers in return? I think I know a lot of your answers, and I think a lot of you are going to say no. But who knows? We'll have to check the comments. Let's get that conversation going in the comments, though. Let me know what you guys think. Do we trade Seiya Suzuki to the Dodgers, or hell no? And you can definitely almost put it. You can definitely put hell no down there. I won't be upset about it. But another deal that has that I've been hearing a lot about is, since the Cubs are officially out on Jesus Luzardo, um that since because he just got traded to the Phillies on Saturday, what deal now can be done for the Chicago Cubs where they can get better for starting pitching? And a deal that's been floated out there, a couple of ideas that's been floated out there. This one I have read a bunch about, is the Cubs potentially trading for one Pablo Lopez from the Minnesota Twins. So basically, fan sided Mark Powell proposed this trade with the Minnesota Twins that brings Pablo Lopez to Chicago. The Cubs obviously receive right-handed pitcher, starting pitcher Pablo Lopez. The Twins will receive outfielder Kevin Alcantara and right-handed pitcher Jackson Wiggins. Uh, Obviously, we know that Alcantara is a top 100 prospect who could start in the big leagues opening day. He is ready to start. Um, and the Wiggins is the Cubs' number 9 prospect, and they have a strong system. Like I said, but these guys could probably move through the Minnesota Twins system pretty quickly. Um, Lopez signed a 4-year, $73 million deal with the Twins in 2023. Um, and just but like I said, so they are invested in on him, and he is a really good pitcher. The return of Alcantara and Wiggins may be too much for the Twins to turn down, while also dumping Lopez's contract to the Cubs. Lopez would be a great addition to the rotation that already includes Shota Imanaga, Justin Steele. Lopez made 32 starts in each of the last 3 seasons, and he had a 4.08 ERA last season and 198 strikeouts. In 2023, he had 234 strikeouts and a 3.67 ERA. So like I said, this really could make the Chicago Cubs a formidable lineup, a formidable rotation right there up front. Now, this is okay if the Cubs are not going to go in on Corbin Burns, if the Cubs are not in on any other pitchers that are out there. You don't want Walker Buehler, you don't want Jack Flaherty. This is another deal that the Cubs could potentially make with Pablo Lopez and bring him over to the Chicago Cubs. Once again, he had a 15-10 record last year for the Twins, a 4.08 ERA. He had 198 strikeouts, and he had a whip of 1.19. once again, the fact that the thing that pops out to me when you look at Pablo, obviously that ERA is a little high. I'd like it to be lower. 4.08 isn't the greatest. Um, but the thing that also popped out to me was in 2023, his strikeouts, how many strikeouts he got, which the Cubs really need a good strikeout pitcher. I love that somebody that's going to throw hard and just throw strikes, and get guys out. Um, and then, of course, the fact that he played 32 games. He started in 32 games for the uh for the Minnesota Twins last year. Because one thing that we've known about this Cubs team is that a lot of times guys get injured, guys get hurt, guys can't go, and then you're stuck wondering to yourself, like, okay, what are we gonna do? Who's gonna be our starting pitcher now? Or we got to dig deep into our rotation and pull out a Ben Brown or start a Javier Assad or something like that. Or he's gone now, but or we were starting Hayden Wesneski, But those guys should only have spot starts if guys need rest. But we need our starting pitching to be healthy for the majority of the season. We need our guys to make their starts, point blank. That's going to be a huge key to the Chicago Cubs' success this season because we got a good pitching staff. And again, I don't think Jed is done. I've seen you guys' comments before, and I know a lot of people have said they don't want Corbin Burns. There are some that say they do want Corbin Burns. But a guy like Pablo Lopez, I mean, like I said, for what you could get from him, and you got him locked down for 3 seasons, like I said, that could be a good alternative for the Chicago Cubs. It could be an option for us should we strike out on those other guys. But at the same time, we have to be smart with our money. We have to make smart decisions. And the Chicago Cubs pitching staff has to stay healthy. The best availability, the best ability is availability. So we're going to need our guys to be ready, available for the job this coming season. That's how the Chicago Cubs get back to winning. I mean, like I said, we've already hashed it over all season long. The amount of guys that have missed time, where they weren't able to cut to make all their starts. We miss a guy a month here. Outside of Shota Imanaga, I think each and every last one of our other pitchers missed time on the IL list. So I mean, like I said, it's going to be very important that we stay healthy this coming season. And again, it's also going to be very important that Jed give us a pitching staff that is able to go each and every day. And again, we have new training staff as well to help guys stay healthy. So that's going to be huge. We want to make sure that guys stay healthy all season long. And like I said, we got to be looking out for injuries, looking out for a guy who looks stiff or a guy isn't stretching right or something like that. We want to make sure that our guys are healthy and ready to go for the season. So I'm excited about this. This deal could potentially happen. It could potentially not happen, but we'll see. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys want the Cubs to maybe go out and make a trade for Pablo Lopez? I mean, is this something that you guys think? It's like I said, I doubt he costs as much as Corbin unless Corbin's stock continues to drop. Teams are very hesitant to offer him any type of long-term deal due to his injury report and due to his declining numbers. We've talked about that last week. So, like I said, I mean, it could just be one of those things where teams are trying to figure out, hey, how can we find some value? How can we save money but still get a really, really good pitcher? And Pablo Lopez stuff is good. So, like I said, if you're able to swing that deal, would you do it? Comment below. Let me know, guys, if you would trade for Pablo Lopez or not. So, moving on from there, one last topic that I wanted to bring up for today's show with you guys. All right, I've been hearing it, I've been seeing it everywhere. And of course, um, you guys know I'm always checking the news cycle to bring different content to you. And I want to talk about the fact that a lot of bettors, a lot of betting agencies, a lot of people that do the betting odds are betting the Chicago Cubs are going to win the Central Division this year. And for me, normally that would make me excited. But for some reason this season, I'm not as excited about winning the Central Division. Um, I'm not as excited about the fact that the Chicago Cubs are the odds-on favorite to win the division. And the reason being is because they already should have had two divisional crowns. To me, if you ask me, the Chicago Cubs put together rosters within 2023 and 2024 that could have won them divisional crowns. Yet they failed to meet expectations both times. Both times. They had everything they needed to win that division crown in 2023. And they had even more in 2024. Yet they still failed both times. So for me, it's an expectation that we're going to win the division. I am worried about the postseason. What do we do when we get to the postseason? The Cubs should absolutely win this division. If you look around and see what the other teams in the NL Central are doing, the Cardinals are setting up for a rebuild. The Brewers are trading away key pieces as well. They will still be formidable, but they should absolutely be vying for a wild card spot. They should not be in the race for the Central Division Championship. The Reds are trading key pieces away. The Pirates have Paul Skeens. That's about it. The Cubs absolutely have to capitalize on this, which brings me to my next point. And I've said this before, and I will continue to beat down this desk. I will continue to hop on this platform and scream from the top of my lungs. Do not become complacent, Jed Hoyer. Do not think or assume that Kyle Tucker is enough. There are still so many good free agents out there. Still so many good players out there. Still so many pieces out there that you could put towards the Chicago Cubs puzzle. You freed up so much money by trading Cody Bellinger to the Yankees. Pat on the back, applause. It was a great deal, smart deal. And you only took back $5 million, 2.5 this season, 2.5 next. Outside of that, they're paying the rest of his salary. That just freed up so much money for you to be able to go and keep adding pieces on. And we cannot become complacent right now just because, oh, look what the Cardinals are doing. Oh, look at what the look at what the Brewers are doing. They're trading pieces away. They're trading key pieces away. Paul Goldschmidt just went to the Yankees. Oh my gosh. Nolan Arenado is probably going to be traded at the turn of 2025. Don't get so stuck on the fact that all these teams are downgrading that you just feel like, well, we can sit back and just chill and relax now. That's not the case. I think far too often, Jed Hoyer, Carter Hawkins have shown complacency in the rosters that they have built. I'm so thankful that reporters, even today, a brand new report came out from Sports Illustrated talking about the sense of urgency that the Chicago Cubs are feeling. And I'm so thankful that they are feeling this sense of urgency. I'm so thankful that they're feeling like, listen, we can win this division far and away. An ideal situation would be like what the Brewers did this last year. The Brewers had the division won by July. They was chilling on cruise control. They knew nobody was going to catch up with them. The Cubs didn't even put a dent in the standings to try to catch up to the Brewers. They knew they had punched their ticket to the postseason by July, at least early August. Now, I'm not saying the Cubs are going to be able to do all that, but I'm just saying there should be an expectation. If you see teams in your division going into rebuild mode, you need to put the pedal to the metal, put your foot on the gas and say, okay, now let's seal the deal. Let's make sure that we get the pieces we need to win this division. Now, if you want to save a couple of dollars, just in case you need to add on a little bit more at the trade deadline, if you think you really have a shot at the World Series, if you really think you got a shot at beating the Mets, beating the Dodgers, If it's looking like y'all are that damn good, well, then I'm okay with saving a couple dollars for that. But you still got time, Jed. You're still on the clock. This division must be won. If I'm Mr. Ricketts, I'm going and I'm saying, hey, we don't win the division. I'm not offering you another contract. Point blank. Period. That's where we're at. That's where we're at in this Cubs season. And Cubs fans, I'm talking to you guys. Let your voice be heard down below. Tell me how you think about it. What you think about this? Are you nervous that you just feel like Jed Hoyer is going to take his foot off the gas once he starts seeing all these other teams downgrading and trying to bring up their prospects and having their prospects play for this season? Do you think he's going to just relax and rest on his laurels, or do you think that he's actually going to put the pedal to the metal and keep getting more? Let's have a fun season. Even if it is just one rental season with Kyle Tucker. Let's just have a fun season. Let's go out and hit bombs. Let's make history. Let's do some fun stuff. Let's bring the fun back to Wrigley. It shouldn't just be the outside attractions that bring people to Wrigley. It shouldn't just be the history that brings people to Wrigley. It shouldn't just be the food that brings people to Wrigley. It should be the fact that there's a good damn baseball team that people want to tune in and watch. Whether that be Marquee, whether that be ESPN, whether that be TBS, whether that be any of the other stations. People want to watch good baseball. People want to pay money, their good hard-earned money, tickets to go watch good baseball. And the Cubs got to give us good baseball this season. Jed Hoyer has to give us good baseball this season. As a Cub fan, you should accept nothing less. As a Cubs fan, I'm accepting nothing less than good baseball this upcoming season. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care what anybody else does. I want the Chicago Cubs not just to compete for a division crown. I want them to win that division crown, and I want them to make some noise in the postseason. It's time. It's time. Don't stop, Jed. Don't get blindsided I almost wish I could put baseball blinders like they put on the horses on Jed Hoyer and say, no, you just focus on the Cubs. Don't look at what the Cardinals are doing. Don't look at what the Brewers are doing. Don't look at what the Pirates are doing. Don't look at what the Reds are doing. Focus strictly on the Chicago Cubs and just keep making us better. Keep making us better. Keep adding more. More pitching. A couple more hitters. If you can get a closer, that'd be even better. But lock this thing down. Division crowns are won. I know a lot of people say you got to play the game, but the first step to locking up the divisional crown is happening right now. Stories are being told right now. Decisions are being made right now as far as how this is going to go. And the Chicago Cubs are right in the thick of things. But they should want more than just a divisional crown. Let's go to the playoffs. Let's go to the postseason. Let's beat some teams. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think down below. Are you worried about Jed Hoyer? Do you trust the process with Jed Hoyer? Do you think that he's going to bring us exactly what we need to win this division? Or do you think he'll stop? That's my time for today, folks. Once again, it is not lost on me that you spent some time watching this video, getting hype about the Cubs season. Again, listen, if you haven't already, the comment section below is the funnest part of the show. Please drop your thoughts in the comment section. I respond. Other people respond. We get conversation going based off the topics on this episode. Again, guys, I cannot do this without you. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. It's the holiday season. It's Christmas weekend for those of you that celebrate. Merry Christmas to you. If it's Kwanzaa, happy Kwanzaa. If it's Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah. Whatever you celebrate, happy holidays to you from us here at the CCC. Again, I need you to leave a voicemail at 773-389-6954. Email us at chicagobaseballcentral@gmail.com. Follow us on X, on Instagram, on TikTok, and all other forms of social media at Chicago Cubs Central. Again, this show does not go without you guys. I love you all so much. Please comment below. please like, share, and subscribe. If you want the Chicago Cubs to keep Seiya Suzuki, please hit that like button. If you want the Chicago Cubs to potentially consider trading for Pablo Lopez, please hit that share button. And again, of course, if you want the Chicago Cubs to go and do what it takes to win the World Series, wishful thinking, I know. Gotcha. Please share this podcast with all of your friends, everybody that you talk to that you know love Chicago Cubs baseball. Once again, we are putting out the best content out here on YouTube for all of you here on the CCC. I appreciate you guys. It's your boy Mike Jones. Happy holidays. Peace. And go Cubs, go.